It seems unbelievable to think that within less than a decade, a 4.6-inch screen has gone to being bigger than we would have imagined on a phone, to now being considered small. However, in an age dominated by big screen phones, the XZ1 Compact is the answer to many smartphone users' desires. Announced at IFA 2017, the Sony XZ1 Compact follows in the footsteps of the Z1, Z3, Z5 and X Compact that came before it. It delivers premium specifications in a form factor that is smaller than most other phones available today. Unmistakably Sony, the XZ1 Compact is pretty square in design and is somewhat chunky with a 9.3mm thickness. Sadly, there are bezels to the display that are larger than one might like, given the advances we have seen. But in defiance to the super slim bezels, the XZ1 Compact is solid and robust in hand, helped by the aluminium body that gives a premium feel and rigidity to it. In hand it feels reassuringly strong and capable, and that is backed up by the internals. A Snapdragon 835 processor, 4GB of RAM, 32GB of internal storage, 10 to 11GB is taken up by the OS. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5, GPS, GLONASS, NFC, DLNA and USB Type-C 3.1 are all present, as is a microSD card slot and 4G connectivity. Sadly, the Compact misses out on the Cat16 LTE and 64GB of internal storage. For this, you need to look at the big brother, the XZ1. As you might expect of Sony, this is an Android smartphone that ships with Android 8 Oreo out of the box. This gives you access to the latest features and security enhancements. Whilst there are extra apps and enhancements installed by Sony, the system is responsive and performs well in everyday use, and you can remove some of those items you don't want. Although the 4.6-inch display is not Full HD, it is bright enough and in my mind is high enough quality for most tasks you want to do on a smartphone. Triluminous, sRGB and Bravia technology all help produce a balanced on-screen image. Full HD with the option to downscale would have been nice, but the benefit here is the Compact is good on battery life. In fact, it boasts a 2700 mAh battery, the same as the larger XZ1, whilst having two Quick Charge 3. A full day's use is certainly possible, even for the more demanding user. For those who make use of Sony's stamina mode, up to 2 days could be possible. Thanks to the retention of the form factor, on the side of the device is the power button that doubles up as a fingerprint sensor. It is easy to access, reads and unlocks the device quickly, giving an added level of protection to the data on the phone. Being a Sony phone, you can also get remote play for PlayStation, which allows you to play your PS4 on the XZ1 Compact, play the very latest high-end games on a smartphone. Whilst pixels might not be aplenty on the Compact, it certainly delivers on the sound with stereo speakers on the top and bottom of the display. Crisp and clear, even at higher volumes there is a clarity that surpasses many devices. Audiophiles can breathe a sigh of relief in the presence of a 3.5mm headphone jack, and even those without finely tuned hearing can notice the enhancements that come as a result of high-res audio support, digital noise cancelling and digital sound enhancement. The rear-mounted 19-megapixel camera has an f2.0 aperture and a 5-axis stabilisation to help deliver fantastic shots. On the whole, the XZ1 has delivered decent results. However, to get the most from the camera, switching to the full manual mode gives an extra level of control. I don't feel it produces quite the same stunning shots on first attempt as some of the competition, but very solid results. You can launch the camera in just 0.5 seconds for quick capture situations. It would be nice to see a record button in addition to the shutter button. To begin video recording, you need to flick the screen to change the mode. New for 2017 is autofocus burst that ensures rapidly captured images are sharper and more in focus than before, whilst predictive capture ensures you don't miss a moment, even if the best shot is before you press the camera shutter button. Motion Eye is a technology first seen on the XZ Premium, but it now features on the Compact too. Capture 960 frames per second, that is super slow motion for some really creative video footage and to add dynamic to normal recordings. Sadly, super slow motion is only 720p, which in 2017 is a bit of a disappointment given the 4K recording capabilities built into the Compact. Sony retained the physical camera shutter button, although selfies are made easier with the ability to hold your hand up in front of the camera to trigger the shutter. And for those selfies, the 8-megapixel front-facing camera can be set to offer 80 or 120 degree field of view. A gimmicky feature for some, this might be, but Sony are really showing their innovation in the 3D creator they have installed. You can spend hours taking scans of faces, heads, food or other objects here and turning them into avatars, sharing on social media, sending them to your 3D printer or ordering them online to be printed and delivered to your door. It feels like the world of AR is really becoming a reality, and although not for everyone, this 3D scanning technology is implemented well with helpful tutorials on how to get up and running. General use of the XZ1 Compact has felt snappy and every bit as good as you would expect. No overheating issues have been felt, and the ease with which this device can be held within one hand makes this an absolute pleasure, even if the screen is smaller than we might have gotten used to. Extra additions like Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and IP rating give extra reassurance when used in everyday life, and if you want to capture those water splash slow-mos, you don't want to worry about getting the Compact wet. The small screen and body to screen ratio will not be for everyone. You can get 5 to 5.5 inch screen phones that really are not that much bigger, but something they do not typically offer is the specification and sheer joy that this phone brings in day-to-day use. Brilliant battery life and performance in a comfortably chunky form factor, there are few negatives to the XZ1 Compact.